Ugh, horrible experience. Hey guys, I'm back again. Look at my cat shirt. Fun fact about this shirt, this was the only souvenir I bought in Iceland when my family went to Iceland and Europe this summer, and I was like, wow, this is such a cool shirt and it's so unique, and I will be able to say that I got it in Iceland. And I get a lot of compliments on this shirt, and I wore this shirt to work before I quit my job, which we'll get into. And this other girl was like, oh my god, I have that shirt, and I was like, what? I bought this shirt in Iceland. And she's like, I got it from a street vendor in New Orleans. And I was like, I got it from a street vendor in Iceland. Definitely not as cool as I thought it was, because now apparently other people have this shirt and they got it in America. So anyway, I thought I would do a life update video for y'all so you could like know what the fuck is going on in my world, like work-wise, love-wise, mental health, whatever the fuck I feel like y'all would want to know. I'm gonna try and share it all now. The last time I made a life update video or like a video talking about anything personal was so fucking long ago. Like I feel like legit almost a year ago maybe, that I don't even really know where to begin. I guess I'll just start with like graduating college 10 months ago, and where I am now. So like I graduated last May, came home, didn't really even attempt to find a job, and was unemployed for like a solid 6 months. I was also extremely depressed during this time. If any of you remember, I made a video in June where I was supposed to go with my best friends from college, us three, to Las Vegas and just have a great fucking time. Like obviously that sounds amazing. And I was at the airport just waiting to board the flight. Like I'd already checked my bag under the plane and had like the world's worst anxiety attack, like literally freaking the fuck out. Had to beg someone to pull my bag from under the plane before the plane flew away, and then I went home and my parents just had to like eat the money for the flight because that's how depressed and anxious I was, like out of nowhere. And my friends went on the trip and nothing bad happened and everything was fine, but I was so anxious and panicking so much that I deadass was like, maybe this is a sign, maybe like something really bad is gonna happen in Vegas or something and I wasn't supposed to go on this trip. Nothing bad happened. It was literally my brain playing tricks on me, but I was just in such a bad mental health state. I couldn't even imagine going away from my family, out of the state, in an environment where my friends were obviously going to want to be fucked up the whole time. Like that's not good for your brain to be fucked up when you're already like in a really bad mental health space. So I was really depressed right after I graduated college. I think it was a combination of my meds weren't working as well anymore, and around that time I did switch my medicine and I went from Lexapro to Cymbalta. So anyone who is medicated for anxiety, depression, I am currently on 60 milligrams of Cymbalta, and this shit is amazing. It works so well. Except I will say that just recently, and I've been on this shit for like at least 6 months, recently, like the past 2 months or so, I have felt like a drastic decrease in my libido, and the only thing I could think of that would affect that would be the medicine. But like my doctor told me that this medicine shouldn't affect my sex drive because it's not an SSRI, it's something else. I don't know what else could be like the issue with that. If anyone knows of reasons why people would have a decrease in sex drive or whatever, like hit your girl up, comment below, because apparently Cymbalta is not supposed to do that, but it's worked great for my brain. So yeah, I think the depression after I graduated was the combination of like the meds not working, me being so stressed about like, what am I supposed to do now with my life? Like I have to find a job, I don't know what I want to do, like super stressful. That's stressful for everyone. And then on top of that, as I said in videos like almost a year ago, also last summer, me and 35-year-old guy were like on a hiatus, and then in May we met up to talk in person and he like completely cut everything off with me, which was devastating, like super bad heartbreak, like third heartbreak of my life. I was super depressed about that. Like I literally didn't know how to like live day to day without him in my life, like having him to text and everything. Like he was really my best friend. So all those things together like really were just fucking me up. So I wasn't employed for the first 6 months that I was graduated. And then in November, I was starting to feel a little better, and I was like, I definitely need to just do something, even retail, because I need to make some money and I need to fucking go do something every day. Like I was so depressed, you guys. I was sleeping, like not even exaggerating, like 18 hours out of my day. Would wake up so late in the afternoon, go downstairs, just lay on the couch like a zombie, watch a few TV shows, and then go back to bed. And like that's when I was asking y'all like, oh, I'm so fatigued all the time, like what could it be? And people were like, are you anemic? You should go get your blood checked. And I did get my blood checked and they were like, yo, you're fine. So like we don't know what it is. It was just severe depression, lol. Then I got a retail job to get off my ass, and that made me feel a lot better. Like, gave me so much sense of purpose, just having a set schedule and somewhere to go, and I was getting paid. Mind you, I was getting paid fucking nothing, jack shit money, like shit that a high schooler should get paid, like just the worst fucking pay, not like a grown-ass woman who has a degree, blah blah blah. So I started working at like a local boutique store in Austin because my sister worked for their sister store and like recommended me to work at this store because they would need people for the holidays and whatever. So I got the job. The job itself was pretty fun. It's just retail, like you're helping customers. In terms of like the funness of the job, I thought it was really fun. Like if I could get paid $20+ an hour to do that, yeah, that would be fucking great. And then like in January, so after working there for 2 months, they made me their social media girl. I was completely in charge on my own of all the social media posts, and I had so much freedom. I could post what I want. I would just like get products together, take a picture, make a witty caption. I posted like 3 things a day. It was really fun, and I have an IT degree, so that was like really good experience for my resume. But again, I was getting paid fucking nothing, like bottom of the barrel wage here. And I went to my manager and asked for a raise, and she was dead ass like, no, like they don't value social media. They won't pay you more, they as in the owners of the store. Even though when I got the job, and this was 50% of the reason I took it, she told me, like verbatim, that if I did a good job with social media, that she had so much power, she could ask the owners to just make social media a job. Like we could make a position for you, just social media girl, and I would like get paid more and just be the social media girl. And then like when push came to shove and I started doing social media and did it well and then went to her asking for a raise, she acted like that wasn't even possible. So that is just like one of many reasons why I ended up quitting, like just two and a half weeks ago, like recently quit. Besides the fact that I wasn't getting paid jack shit and I was doing 2 jobs, I was running around hustling my ass being a sales associate, and I was genuinely one of the best sales associates they had. A lot of the other girls were always fucking off, finding excuses to not do any work. I was constantly fucking working, constantly talking to customers. And then on top of that, I was also doing the social media full time. That's 2 fucking jobs, and you won't even give me even a $1 raise. Like that's ridiculous. Like I was being completely underpaid. I didn't feel like I was valued, and that's not a good feeling. Like obviously every job in the world, there are going to be shitty people, there's going to be a shitty manager, shitty boss, but like for the amount I was getting paid, which was nothing, it wasn't worth putting up with all the shit. So there was just like a lot of drama, a lot of cattiness. The manager like never confronted people directly about issues. She would just like gossip about you or tell someone else to come tell you what you did wrong. Just there was so much unprofessionalism. Like I would not recommend to anyone to work at this place. I'm not going to say the name of it because like not trying to put anyone on blast or be that petty or be like a dumb bitch. Like it's not worth it. It was just a job I had for like 4.5 months. Who gives a fuck? Just a retail job. But it was so fucking bad, and this one assistant manager was just a pain in the ass, was so fucking rude to all of us, would yell at us and berate us in front of customers, would have customers come complain to the store or send emails complaining to the store about how shitty this person was, and she was never written up, which when push came to shove just a few weeks ago when I quit and everyone was like, fire her or we are all going to quit, they deadass wouldn't even fire her, which is because they didn't have things written up on paper to have reason to fire her. Yeah, because you're a shitty manager and you're not writing all these things up. Like we have complained so many times, and it just was so unprofessional and so fucked up and so back-ass words. Like I can't even express in words how fucked up it was. It was so fucked up that 2 weeks ago, here's just a little example of literally countless I could give you, but I don't want to make this video about my shit job. 2 weeks ago when I was still working there and I was already on the verge of wanting to quit because I was so unhappy, and the other assistant manager had already put in her 2 weeks, and that girl has become like one of my best friends, and I was like, I don't want to work here without you. And then this other girl who became our friend was like, if you're quitting, I'm quitting. So like we were all kind of like, we want to quit. This other girl had just put in her 2 weeks because she was over it. So 2 weeks ago, this situation happened where the assistant manager got on to me for not being in my zone, which means not being in the room you're designated to be in, but she had put me in one room for 3 hours, I know intentionally to like punish me because she didn't like me, because she used to run the social media but was shit at it. Like she shouldn't have been doing it, but I guess they had no one else to. And then I got to take over that role because I'm good at social media and have an IT degree, and she just like had this little vendetta against me because of that. Like it's just evident that this woman was so fucking jealous of me, and it's like, we're all adults, can you like stop being a petty bitch? Thanks, but no, like just such an insecure, immature person. Like you couldn't expect this person to act anything but the way she acted, which is psychotic. But she got on me for not being in my room. I don't give a fuck. She gets on people every single day for that. And no, I'm not gonna stay in one like 20 by 10 foot room for 3 hours. Like go fuck yourself, basically. She yelled at me for that and I was like, okay, whatever, just went back to my zone. Like, didn't cause a problem about that. Why would I? She tells people to get in their zones every fucking day of their life. That's not something to freak out about. Like, we know she's a psycho bitch. So then one of the employees comes up to me like 30 minutes later and is like, yo, she was just, as in the assistant manager who was a psycho to everyone, she's like, she was just talking shit about you, saying that she thinks you should have been fired months ago and that you should have like 17 strikes against you because you're such a bad employee. Which, like, no, fuck you. First of all, as an assistant manager, you should not be talking shit about employees to other employees. That's unprofessional. Just a little example of all the things that went on in the store that were so fucking unprofessional, it blows my mind. And then on top of it, you should not be saying shit like that in general about someone. Like, they should have been fired. Like, no, you're being so petty because you hate me because I got the social media gig over you. Like, literally, how jealous of me could you be? So I was so angry. I was like, I'm gonna confront her about it because, like, you do not want to fuck with me, okay? Like, I will stand up for myself. I will fucking confront you. So, like, if you're gonna be a dumb bitch, you're gonna deal with the repercussions. So I pulled her into the office to do it privately and was like, I heard you were talking shit about me and said that you think I should have been fired. And she totally denied it, tried to cover her tracks, which I knew she would because, no, on top of everything else, she was legit a pathological liar. I have several examples of times she's dead ass lied about me, about the other assistant manager, about other employees to just like try and get us in trouble. Like, there was a period when I first started working there that she told my boss that I came to work drunk when I wasn't. I was a little hungover from the night before and I confided in her because at this time I thought me and her were friends. Like, I thought she was cool and she was like, oh, what'd you do yesterday night? And I was like, I went out for a little bit, got a little drunk. I was like, I'm kind of hungover right now, like, haha, lol, like girly girl banter. And then she went and ran to the manager and said, oh, I think Brighton's drunk at work. Like, that's appalling. That's something that gets people fired. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So she would lie about people all the time. So I knew she was going to deny saying that, especially because I'm confronting her. So I pull in the girl who told me about it and she was like, nope, that's definitely what you said. So then this girl was like, because she's getting confronted and she doesn't know what to do. And then she had the balls to tell me that I'm not a good employee, that I'm not responsible, and that I haven't proven myself to be, like, I guess, a good worker. And I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, you are the worst worker in the store. You do less work than everyone else combined. You're lazy as fuck. You constantly look for excuses to not be doing any work. And she was like, no, if you're gonna say to me that way, you can leave. And I was like, oh, I was already gonna leave because I'm not gonna work at a store where the assistant manager is talking shit about me behind my back. Like, are you in middle school? So I, like, clocked out for the day, left, like, my shift 5 hours early, texted the boss, like, I walked out because of this. Then this other girl walks out too. She's like, I'm not comfortable with you talking shit about people. Walks out. Like, literally the craziest thing to ever happen. Like, I couldn't even believe this was happening at a place of business. But, like, no, fuck you. No one is understanding how fucked up this place is. So maybe I need to fucking tell you that you suck and walk the fuck out of work for everyone to understand that there's a fucking problem here. So what happened after that was my manager called everyone in to ask everyone their side of the story of what happened. My manager basically deadass didn't believe me and believed this dumb pathological lying assistant manager over me. And I was like, no, fuck this. Literally, fuck this. I do everything for the store. I do your social media. I'm so respectful. This lady constantly treats me like shit because she has a vendetta against me. And I've said nothing ever. Until now, I stood up for myself. Like, no, fuck this. I'm putting in my 2 weeks and out as fuck. So I put in my 2 weeks the same day that 2 other girls put in their 2 weeks. And there had already been 2 other girls that had quit. So literally, they had to get a whole new staff and a new assistant manager because that assistant manager ended up stepping down from the role because all she did was cry. Like, she treated us like shit, and then when we would backtalk her or, like, stand up for ourselves, she would just go cry like a baby. Like, no, you cannot be an assistant manager if you're gonna talk shit about people and then cry when they confront you. Like, literally, are we in 6th grade? I can't believe this is a place of business. Like, blows my mind. Can't believe I even stayed there for 4.5 months. But yeah, I put in my 2 weeks. It was bullshit. The manager hates us now and talked a lot of shit about us because she's a petty bitch too. Fun job. Horrible people to work with and under. Like, no bueno. Especially for being paid jack shit money. Like, if you were paying me $20, $25 an hour, I would just shut my mouth and let you talk shit about me all day fucking long. I don't give a fuck what you think of me. But for the price they were paying me, I was like, nah, fuck this heavy, fuck this shit. And then I had, like, 5 days left of my 2 weeks and I got a gig working South by Southwest in Austin, which is a huge film and music festival that goes on downtown for a whole week during spring break time. And I got a gig being a brand ambassador for Samsung, getting paid $30 an hour to just talk to people about Samsung and pass out flyers because we were giving away a free Samsung S10 every day and get people to go to the Samsung booth at South by Southwest. So I texted my boss and I was like, hey, I know I have 5 days left, but I just got hired to make $30 an hour way more an hour than you were paying me, so I'm not coming back to work. Like, I'm not gonna finish my 5 days when I've already quit when I have this offer. Like, literally, no. Like, anyone would do what I did. It was crazy. So now I'm currently unemployed, but I have been doing brand ambassador work, which if you're not familiar with that, a brand ambassador slash promotional model is someone who does what I did for South by Southwest, someone who gets hired to like work a swanky event at a hotel maybe, and like pass out drinks, pass out food. Maybe you work the door at an event. Like, you're kind of just supposed to be a pretty girl. Usually it's pretty girls, but like not always. You're just kind of just supposed to be like a pretty face, smiling, talkative. It's really great for people who are outgoing, energetic, like meeting new people like me. So it's really fun. I did it for South by, and I'm actually doing another one tonight for a networking event downtown. I'm just like working the door, meeting people, talking to people, just like being a bright shining face as everyone comes into the event. Like, really easy work. And also, brand ambassador work pays minimum $15 an hour, on average 20 to 25, and then sometimes even $30 an hour, which is all way more than I was getting paid at my retail job. So I've been doing those gigs as often as I can, but it's really competitive and you never know when a gig or event is going to be happening. So you have to like be on top of your shit, because if you don't apply for a gig within like an hour of it being posted, another girl will have already been given the job. So you have to be really diligent about that. And I also signed up to be a pet sitter on Rover. So today also I'm going to meet a woman to meet her 2 little puppies, and she's going to just like show me the ropes about how to feed them, how to poop them, and then the next 2 days I'm just gonna check in on her dogs like 3 times a day for $130. So like, there are ways to like just make money when you're not employed. So like, that's what I'm kind of doing right now. And also just like waiting for the day I'm internet famous, that like I don't have to have a real job. Someone let me the fuck know. So that's what I've been doing work-wise. Love life-wise, okay, let's go back to 35-year-old guy. I don't want to go into too much detail. Basically, when we ended things in May, I was so depressed, and every time I got drunk, I'd blow up his phone, just like begging him to let me in his life again. Fast forward to like September, I was drunk as fuck, told him I was stranded, which I was stranded, but I could have just gotten an Uber and gone home, but I didn't want to. I wanted to go to his house. So basically begged him to let me come to his house like a psycho, like a literal psycho. Like, y'all don't think I can be psycho? You think I'm so cool and confident and have it together? No, when I fall for someone and like love them, like with this boy, I do love him. This boy, he's a man, just everyone knows. And he's not 35 anymore, but he will always be a 35-year-old guy. That's just his official nickname. You know, I give everyone nicknames on this channel. So like a fucking psycho, I blew up his phone and basically made him let me come over, called him sitting on the street corner, bawling my eyes out, drunk on Rainy Street, people walking by me asking me if I'm okay, and I'm like, I'm fine, don't look at me. So he finally was like, fine, fucking come over. You can Uber here if you want. Go over there. We have sex, obviously. And he was like, we can't see each other again. Like, I'm not trying to have a relationship. We can't be in each other's life. Like, blah, blah, blah. But I guess there were just feelings still there for me, because like 2 weeks later he called me as I was driving to a Bumble date in like San Marcos, like past San Marcos, Texas, in Shirts, Texas, which is ironic because that's the same place the psycho dude lived in that ghosted me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link that video below because it is some crazy fucking shit. So I was like 45 minutes outside of Austin, and he calls me and he's like, hey, I know this might be weird, but like I'm having the worst day. Like, the only person I want to see is you. Can you please come over? And I was like, I'm like about to eat dinner with my family, so it might take me a while. And he was like, what? Like, I need you to come now. Like, I'm having a crisis. And I was like, you're gonna have to wait like at least 45 minutes. So I flip my car around, drive all the way back to Austin to his house, literally speeding, like going 90 miles per hour down the highway. I had to make up a reason why I couldn't come to the Bumble date when I was already like 3 minutes away from this dude's house. I was like, oh my god, we're having a family emergency. I have to go back home. Like, it was crazy. And then after that, like, it was a sealed deal, I guess. Like, he just realized he liked having me in my life, and the rest was history. We just started texting all the time and hanging out all the time, and now we're like solid in each other's lives. And no, we're not dating. He doesn't want to date because he has a son, which I know sounds like a cop-out, but if you think about it, when you put the label of like, this is my girlfriend on things, you have a lot of shit on your plate for a relationship. Like, if something happens with my parents, or I have an event or something, it's like, you're my boyfriend, you have to come with me, or you're my boyfriend, why didn't you fucking text me today? And like, you know, just stuff like that. And like, I'm not even like that, and I know a situation, and I wouldn't be like that if we like ever put a label on something, but I just like get it. And he has his kid over half the time, and obviously I am nowhere close to being in a position where I would meet the kid. So it's like, why would I even say you're my girlfriend? Because if like you're my girlfriend, it's then like I have to tell my baby mama who you are, and then there's this pressure for you to meet my kids sooner than later. So like, I get it, and I know that like he loves me, I love him, I know that like we're loyal to each other. Like, I really genuinely feel I'm the only girl in his life. He's definitely the only guy in my life. So like, yeah, I'm really content with that, really happy. So he's back in action. So moral of the story, if you just harass someone long enough, maybe, just maybe, you can get them back. He's my best friend. I love having him back in my life. So love life wise, even though I don't have a boyfriend, I'm very content. Like, that part of my heart is fulfilled by him. Makes me want to sing like I'm in High School Musical. I don't know. I feel like I'm delirious right now. Those are like the big things. All that work, drama. Oh yeah, I like have friends now kind of because I made friends through my shit job. The other assistant manager who was cool as fuck, her and me and this other girl became like really good friends, but specifically the cool assistant manager who didn't make my life a living hell. Her and I are like besties for the resty. Like, we literally have this connection that I cannot even describe to you. Like, when I was in middle school, me and my friends would have like the goofiest relationship, just like making the silliest faces, being so fucking stupid, you know? And then as you get older, you become more mature and you like act less that way, you know? And like, my college friends are my best friends too, but also, I don't know, I don't feel like I act to the extent of my weirdness even with my college best friends that I do with this girl. It's a very weird dynamic with her in a good way. Like, I literally don't even know how to describe it. Like, I've literally told 35-year-old guy that I want him to meet her because she's like one of my best friends now in Austin, but like, I'm almost like nervous to meet him with her because like, when I'm with her and only her, like the weirdest side of me comes out because it's just like, I don't have to hold back on anything. I can talk about gross shit. I can do gross shit. I can make weird noises and faces and just be crazy. And it's like, I don't know if I want people to really necessarily see that side of me. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that side of me hasn't come out since like middle school. Like, I didn't think I would ever have an adult friendship that would be like that, like childish, playful, goofy. I literally don't know how to describe it, but like the dynamic between us is just awesome. Like, I know that whenever I hang out with her, like, I will laugh so hard because we just like have this dynamic and the same sense of humor about the same shit. I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe it. I hope it makes sense. But yeah, so like, those two girls are like my legit friends, like text them, hang out with them, whatever. So like, I'm starting to make new friends. I've obviously met people through doing the brand ambassador work, people that are pretty cool, people I could definitely hit up to like go out with or get drinks. Not people that would be like best friends, but like, I'm just like putting myself out there more. I feel obviously not depressed or anxious. I just feel like I'm in a pretty good place. I'm also drinking way less than I used to, which might be surprising because I still feel like I drink kind of like a lot-ish. I don't know, but like, I just used to like drink all the fucking time and like so heavily, and like now I'm to the point already, like I can't even believe that even like a year ago in college I could like binge drink like a motherfucker, and now it's like after 4 or 5 drinks I'm like, okay, I'm like fucking drunk, no mas. So like, it's just so weird to see how like you evolve and shit. Like, just a year ago in college I could go balls to the wall, and now I'm like, I need to pace myself and like take it easy. You know what I mean? So that's been good. Like, everything is like pretty good in my life right now. The only thing that like gives me stress is that I don't have like a 9-to-5 consistent job, consistent paycheck, because like at this rate I'm never gonna move out of my parents' house because I'm not making enough money to like save up to move out of my parents' house. Like, I need to be making like at least 50 grand a year to be able to like have all this money saved to go move out into the real world, especially not to mention with Austin becoming so much more popular, the rent is fucking skyrocketing. And sorry, but I don't want to live like all the way north or all the way south. Like, I want to live like in central Austin. I want to live close to my parents, all this shit. So that's the only stressful thing, but I just know like the right thing will come along when it's meant to. And for now, like doing the Rover and the brand ambassador stuff, it's great for networking and it is like pretty good fucking cash. And then just like a quick little update, don't want to go too much into this, a quick family update that I've actually never talked about on my channel or discussed on Instagram anything. I have a little bit on Instagram, but extremely vaguely. But my dad is actually suffering from lung cancer, and no, he's never smoked a day in his life. It's just a weird genetic mutation. I don't even know how that fucking happens. Cancer's a bitch. The human body's weird. I don't know. Like, I haven't had my Juul in like a month, and I'm like, I don't even want my Juul back because I don't want to be tempted to hit it. Like, it's not even necessary. Like, I'm not addicted to nicotine. Why do I need a fucking Juul? It was just like so popular in college that like everyone had one, and now I'm like, no, like I don't want to fuck up my lungs. Like, my dad has lung cancer, and I literally just read this like horoscope thing, like a natal chart about my birthday and about myself like a few weeks ago, and it dead ass said like, be careful with your lungs, like you're susceptible to lung problems. And I'm like, oh my god, that's spooky. That freaks me the fuck out. Like, I love my astrology shit, y'all, and that is spooky. Not to mention that I've told y'all before that I have this website that I go to, and you can pay like $40 to ask this like astrologist psychic person a question, which I know sounds expensive, but every time I've talked to this woman, she's been so fucking accurate and dead ass, not exaggerating. Like 2-3 years ago, I talked to her and she predicted my dad being sick. She was like, is everything okay with your dad? Like, I'm seeing him being sick. And it's something with like his throat lymph nodes. And I was like, no, my dad's fine. Fast forward like 2 years later after that, he gets sick with lung cancer, which started in his lymph nodes. That blows my mind. I was like, no, again, that's some spooky shit. So like, I'm trying to like just live a healthier lifestyle, I guess. And my dad is like doing fine. Like, he's not on the verge of death. He's not losing his hair. Like, if you met him, you'd think he was a normal dude. But he got surgery and he was taking these chemo pills for like a whole year, which is like some new FDA approved medicine that's like really, really expensive, because obviously why wouldn't you want to take a pill over like having the chemo put into your veins for like hours at a time for treatment, and that really fucks up your body and makes you really fatigued and everything. So he did that for a whole year and we thought it was working really well, but then when they like cut into him to like take out part of the mass a few months back, they were like, it wasn't working as well as we thought. So now he's doing like regular chemo and radiation like everyone in the world does, which does make him really fatigued and sleepy and all that stuff, but he's still like the same guy. So like, I don't need anyone's sympathy about the situation. Like, I'm fine with that situation, but it's something I've never talked about on YouTube, and it is a life update with my life. So that's really about it for my life and what I'm going through and how I'm feeling. But I'm feeling pretty good. If I had a steady job, I'd feel even better. But like, you know, just rolling with the punches. And I'm very, very fortunate that I have a family who allows me to live in their home rent free and is like kind of just allowing me to figure out life and just like letting me see where shit goes, because I am clueless on what I would pursue 9-to-5 job wise, because I have an IT degree, but I don't want to do IT. I don't want to do IT customer service. I don't want to work with computers. I don't want to code shit. I'm honestly not even smart enough in those fields to be able to do those kinds of jobs. So like, hey YouTube, hey Instagram, can I please have like 100,000 followers so I can get brand deal? Please, for the love of God. Maybe like share my YouTube, share my Instagram with your friends. If you really like what I have to say and you like me, which I know a lot of you do, spread the word. Like, why wouldn't you be like, hey bitches, in your group text, I follow this girl, she's really fucking dope. If you want to feel better about yourself and laugh sometimes, maybe you should check her out. So yeah, follow me on Instagram if you don't already, at Bright and Victoria. Also follow me on Live AF, which is a live streaming app at Bright and Victoria as well. That is a really cool thing I'm doing for the company Arsenic. I don't do it as often as I should. I'm trying to get on a better schedule with that and with YouTube, because those are both things that could propel me into the internet fame world if I try hard enough at it. But I've been being a lazy piece of shit because I've been too hard on myself with YouTube specifically. I feel like I don't want to make a video unless I know exactly what I'm going to talk about, and it's going to be at least this amount of length long, so it sounds like I've said enough of substance to make it into a video. And I've just realized like maybe I should be less hard on myself. Maybe I should just turn on the camera, talk about whatever the fuck I want, edit it, and I'm sure it'll still be information that you guys would love, and I should just like not take it as seriously and not put all this pressure on myself to make like the perfect video every time. So yeah, I guess that's about it for me and my life. Thank you for watching. I hope you've missed me, but I'm trying to be back in action, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will just be in like a few days from now. So peace out.